Hello everybody, this is the Omega Lynch, back again with another Nobody Cares About My Opinion video. And I'm going to give my thoughts on the 1962 Japanese historical drama film called, and I'm probably not going to pronounce this right, so bear with me, Amakusa Shiro Tokizada. Not correct, but close enough. Or as it is known in the West, the Christian Revolt. Now, I'm not sure if I'm the right guy to talk about this film. Nevertheless, I want to give my thoughts on it because I think it is a movie that deserves more attention simply because of how heartbreaking it is. The movie is about and here's another word I have a hard time pronouncing. There are some Japanese words I can pronounce in Hamlin. And there's some I can pronounce with no problem. It's weird. Anyway, it's about the Shimabara Rebellion. Shimabara Rebellion. I think it's the closest I can get. Which was about a village of Japanese Christians revolting against the shogunate. Not because of their Christian beliefs, but because the shogunate was hoarding all the money and the food, leaving the villagers with no other choice but to revolt. The movie showcases how brutal the Japanese Christians were persecuted, from being covered in hay and set on fire to being dragged around by a horse, to the point where some of them stopped being Christian because they couldn't handle being tortured anymore. And who could blame them, considering that this was only the tip of the spear? Go watch the 2016 movie Silence to see even more on how the Japanese Christians were treated. And while watching this film, I felt humbled and saddened, not just by the villagers, but also by, there's another name I'm going to butcher, Amakazuha Shiro, who was played by, and I hope I pronounced this right, Hashizo Okawa. These names are real tongue twisters. Some of them are anyway. Who I think did an amazing job showcasing what Shiro was going through at that time. I believe he was 17 when he led the rebellion against the shogunate. Not because he wanted to. It's because he felt like he had to. And to lead a rebellion against their government at such a young age. He was still just a kid. I can't imagine the pressure he must have felt. The weight of that would have crushed me. And I've heard all these rumors that the people claimed he was like the son of God or a miracle worker. However, the movie doesn't portray him as any of that. If anything, it showcases him as being a simple country samurai who probably be content with living a peaceful farmer's life. However, due to forces outside of his control, he finds himself the leader of a rebellion that, on some level, he knows is doomed to fail. And the actor who plays him does an excellent job. Sorry, it gets me stuck in my throat by all these cobwebs. And what did I say? Oh, yeah. Showcasing Shiro's emotions through subtle facial expressions. Anyway, back to what I was saying about Shiro knowing that the cause being hopeless, even though it was the Japanese Christians were too far in the war, and the shogunate was probably going to kill them either way, simply because they needed a scapegoat to cover for their corruption. So they marched on to what ended up being a bitter end, with all the Japanese Christians that took place on the final battlefield being wiped out. So yeah, it's a sad movie that leaves you heartbroken. However, there was a line in it that caught my attention, and it was spoken by Shiro himself. The world of God is much more forgiving than the world of the Christian missionaries. Hearing that made me wonder if the film writers understood that we are saved by grace and not of ourselves, lest any man should boast, which gave me some hope that the Japanese Christians might have been saved, or at the very least, God gave them a free pass due to all the suffering they went through. Now, would I recommend it? Yes, I would. If you are a Christian and interested in the Shimabara, sorry, I cannot pronounce that word. It's spelled Shimabara, rebellion. Then yes, I think it's one worth checking out. It's definitely a heartbreaking gem of a movie, and I'll leave a link below to where you can watch it with the English subs. And let me know what your thoughts are on this movie. And like before, if you like my content, subscribe and share the videos. Thanks again for watching, and hopefully we'll see you again.